greatest service for the mission. Are the thoughts useless? What use you found from thoughts?
99% thoughts are totally useless. So.
That's all. You yourself realize it. Yes.
So, what is it within us is telling us that it is useless?
What is this?
I mean, there has to be some faculty within us that is telling us this is illogical, this is unconnected. So again, the mind is the
So you say there is a faculty.
The mind is the one that has to decide whether it's illogical or logical, isn't it? So again, we are using the help.
Okay, see, mind is the one which is supposed to decide whether it is logical or illogical.
Correct.
That's the truth. So what is that mind?
Bundle of thoughts.
Bundle of thoughts. That's what now you saw.
Right.
Now what is that bundle of thoughts? No.
But again, in order for you to know it is illogical, you need to have something to tell you that's illogical. What is it that within?
What is it that telling? That you should ask yourself. See, you are asking from what scale you can tell whether it is illogical or not. I tell you, you can't even call this as actually illogical because you don't have any other word, you are using it as illogical. It is not even, it can't even be described as illogical. It is logically illogical or illogically logical. You can't even describe, it is illogical. As doctor told, it's right. You can't describe it as illogical. If it is illogical, then what is logical? We don't have any word, that's all. Because of that, we are using the word illogical. Now only one by one, everything is coming out. You are God, I am God. Who said I am God and you are God?
You said
Who told you this? I told you. Long before. Now completely it is unclutched. How can you say that Nithyananda only is sitting in front of you now? Let's have a little fun. God is everywhere. Why go to Kumbh Mela? Who went to Kumbh Mela? And why Anandeshwar temple? Who said there is a temple? I don't know. Who put this question? I understand. You are God and I am God is a word now which you need to digest. Just be unclutched. You are God and I am God will become experience to you. See. Now let us analyze. You say I am God and you are God. Next moment itself you are suspecting it. That is why you are putting the question, why Kumbh Mela? So this means your thoughts are not consistent. Am I right? You say, I am God and you are God. If you keep quiet, then okay. But the next you put the question, then why go to Kumbh Mela? It means your thoughts are not logical. Am I right? They are not logical. First you are telling one and the second you are telling something else. It means your thoughts are unconnected, illogical, independent, irresponsible, unclutched. Just realize that. And the third word, why Anandeshwar temple? Now you are bringing the God also. The fight is after all between you and me. Why are you calling the poor guy? He is somewhere sitting happily. First thing, the logic with which you are asking the question has no base. Has no base. First, look into yourself and see how you are. Then ask any other question. This very question shows you are independent, unconnected, irresponsible, illogical, unclutched being. Thoughts are so illogical. Then which thoughts do we pick up? Is it based on our samskaras? What happens after enlightenment? You don't need to pick up any thought. Why do you need to pick up any thought? You don't need to pick up any thought. Is it based on our samskaras? Where is samskara? Samskara is also one more thought. One thing I am so happy that I wanted that a certain level of confusion should be created. By seeing the question, I am very clear that is created. Now we can go deep. Now we can dig the whole thing. What happens after enlightenment? Why do you bother about that now itself? You are asking, no random thoughts at all. Let me be very clear, no thoughts at all. Forget about random thoughts. You are sitting in front of a person who is speaking without thoughts, who is speaking without thinking. That is why I am able to speak for so many hours without preparing. If you are preparing and talking, if you are already prepared the lecture and bringing it and you are delivering it, two things. You need time to prepare the talk, and the second thing, and then after delivering you repent that you missed so many points. One more thing, there are some intelligent guys, they don't need to prepare outside, but during the talk itself they will mentally prepare and start talking. Even if you do that, you will become tired after talking 1 or 2 hours. You can't be talking hours after hours. One more thing, person who mentally prepares and talks will be bored of talking the same subject second time. If you are a teacher, you know. If you are a teacher, you know. But I am talking almost the same thing for last 4 years, 4.5 years now. Now, in 5,000 hours DVD, practically I am telling the same thing. Because I am not thinking and talking. When we think logically, are we not connecting thoughts? What you think as logic itself is illogical. You connecting thoughts is not actually connection. What you think as connection, you bring the nearer possible, the nearer concept thoughts. It's like a, let me describe it. Ajada Veda, there are 2 kinds of Vedas in the Veda means differences. Ajada Veda and Swagata Veda. Swagata Veda means by the quality itself it is 2 different things. The difference between cow and the monkey. By the very birth they are 2 different. There is one more Veda. The difference between your hand and your head. It's by quality it's the same body, but inside the body like a subdivision. This is Ajada Veda, means by birth, by jati, they are not 2 different. The earlier division is totally different between cow and donkey, cow and monkey. By nature they are 2 separate things. The second kind of Veda is, by nature they are not 2 separate, same body but 2 different parts. But there is a difference. There is a difference between your hand and head. Your hand's job is different and head's job is different. So, when you think logically, you may not connect the thoughts with Swagata Veda, But even then your thoughts are got ajadaveta. You understand? That's a minor delusion. Even what you think as logic is not completely connected. Between every thought there is a difference. There is a quantum jump. There is a quantum jump. You may not observe it clearly. You may not understand it. If you look, even with the, alright, whatever you think as logic, just see when it goes on inside you. It won't be logical. It will only jumpy. It will only jumpy. Your logic is also not enough logical. Enough logical. What do you think as logic? See, for example, let's analyze this one logic, nyaya. There's a two kind of nyaya, logic. In Nyaya Sutra means that about logic in India there's a big darshana, means a big tradition which teaches the logic. There's a two kind of logic. One kind of a logic is like a, if you read the two statements, you can come to the conclusion of third statement. For example, all men have got one head. Socrates is a man. Now you know the third statement. What is the third statement? Socrates has got one head. This is one kind of logic. There is another kind of logic. Here, this gate has got two doors. First statement. Second statement, one door is open. You can't say the other door is closed. But now, before I uttered this word, your mind has come to the conclusion? Is it not?
Yes.
The moment I utter the word, there is a two door. One door is closed. What your mind says? How can you say that? So this is the life logic. Life's logic is not logical. It is not logical. Many times, you see, you think by connecting and making everything by generalizing. But when you live in a very small, narrow way. Your thinking happens in a different play. Your living happens in a different play. That is why so much of suffering. So much of suffering. For example, if you hear the news, your friend is loving somebody, immediately you come to the conclusion, you are not being loved. But the quality of love is such that you love more number of people, you are more open. You pour yourself so much. You know how to shower yourself. But your logic does not agree with that. Life, the big problem with the life and logic is, in reality, nothing is logical. But in thinking, you are trying your best to connect everything and put everything into one logic, so that you can manipulate it. Whatever is logical, you can manipulate. You can manage. But fortunately, life is not logical. Whatever you try to do, it is not possible. Could not unclutch last night. I am not able to unclutch is also one more independent, illogical, irresponsible thought. Why are you bothered about it? Let it come. Unclutch from that, over. Where you are already working on this. I observe the inward and outer me, and that those are unclutched. And there is duality I have been trying to identify. But I have not felt this change in perception. What holds me back? Nothing holds you back except your idea that you are not able to perceive. Now you say you are having an idea, you are not able to perceive. Just unclench from that thought, over. Just unclench from it. Who is saying you are not enlightened? You. Just unclench from the thought, over. Why are you clutching with it? That's all. What is the difference between so-called normal people and mentally retarded? Or mentally retarded people unclutched? They are not unclutched actually. They are over-connected. See, in your case, you are connecting at some point. Somehow you are able to manage to unclutch and rest. Those guys are not even able to manage that unclutching during sleep or during the boredom period. See, in your case, after a certain boredom or tiredness, you know how to unclutch and change and do something else. Those guys were not that intelligent and they are not able to do that. That's why they become mentally disturbed. If the mind can be aware of only one thought at a time, is it possible the mind is the one thinking it is body and mind, then thinking it is enlightened. See, if you are thinking, then it is not enlightened. Is enlightenment product of the mind? No. And dies with the brain? No. Your mind is much sharper, with great imagination. Oh, this is a nice question, challenging me. Now it's time. Let's. It's from the same person. I think from doctor only. Now I know. Understand? This is a very deep question. Sharp mind will not radiate compassion. The more your mind becomes sharp, you will see more you become logical. The more you become logical, you will be more violent. Logic means separating. It will never give deep fulfillment to you. One more thing. Staying with one body is impossible. Staying with one thought is impossible. Here is saying, if the mind can be aware of only one thought at a time, it can be aware of only one thought at a time, but that thought cannot be same continuously. That's the first thing you need to understand. Any thought cannot be consistent or same continuously. Second thing, he is asking, the mind is the one thinking it is body and mind, then thinking it is enlightened. No. Mind is the one which is thinking it is body and mind. When that dies, you don't think you are enlightened, you are enlightened. People ask me, are you enlightened? Let me be very honest. The moment I became enlightened, the idea, the doubt whether I am enlightened or not has disappeared. Same way the idea I am enlightened also disappeared. I neither have a doubt whether I am enlightened or not, nor I have an idea or clarity that I am enlightened. I neither have a doubt whether I am enlightened or not, nor have idea that I am enlightened. Simply it is there completely unclutched, because all the masters use the word enlightenment to denote this state, to mention this state. I am also using that word. I am also using that word, otherwise that word has no meaning. Is enlightenment product of the mind? No. In a way it is product of the mind, because after it happens, after the mind disappears. So indirectly it can be called as a product of the mind. Maybe enlightenment is side effect after mind's death. Enlightenment is a side effect of the mind's death. Is enlightenment product of the mind and dies with the brain? No. It is neither the product of the mind nor it dies with the brain. Your mind is much sharper with greater imaginations. No. Actually, I don't have imaginations. That's the big problem. I don't have imaginations. I can say only one thing. I appear to be very sharper because I know all the games which your mind can play. You may ask how I know all the games your mind can play. Because my mind has played all those games with me. I managed it. Because I played with my mind, I can play with anybody's mind. The other day, after some program I came and told, there was a guy who was trying to behave very intelligently with me. Then after everything I came and told. I told him that I was playing with the mind. I played with the mind itself. Understand? You are playing with your mind. I played with the mind already. So whatever your mind can play, I know because my mind played much more than that. Before death, your mind will do its final drama. It will open all its cards, or I can say, it will open everything. It will do its best. That's what it means when Buddha says that before enlightenment, Mara came, he tried to seduce me. Means what? All the things which is inside is coming out. If somebody has become enlightened, he has seen all the games of his mind, then naturally he can face all the games of your mind. So my mind, you can't say my mind is sharp or with great imagination. No. I don't have imagination. One more thing. Maybe you can feel my mind is sharp because I know all the sharp dramas played by your mind. Otherwise, my mind is not what you think as sharp. How have we managed to create disease in our bodies? Or does this have nothing to do with our thoughts? It has something to do with your thoughts. How can we turn this around to help us? First thing, understand. Every moment you are having new thought. Your body is created by your thoughts. Because you believe you have a consistent personality. You are connected. You have a connected shaft in you. You start creating the body also in the same way. And do not allow rejuvenation process. Now understanding that you are unclutched, you will allow the rejuvenation process which is constantly happening in you to happen in a natural way. Unclutching is the best way to allow your body to heal itself. See, Dilip is asking a question. I have to connect my thoughts logically. Only then I can do my work. I am telling you all, right? Please sit straight. Now connect all your thoughts logically and be there. How long will you be able to do? How long will you be able to do this? You can't. So you know you can't. That's what I am saying, then don't. Understand? See, if I tell you to be unclutched, you say I am not able to. If I tell you to be clutched, again you say you are not able to. Neither be unclutched nor be clutched. You are already unclutched. Understand? Neither you need to unclutch because you don't need to unclutch. You are unclutched. Try to be clutched. You are not able to. Then just be. Look into yourself. Understand? Now I am talking an important truth. It's one of the important revelation. You will not be able to do any single act without contradicting thought happening in you. Anybody who says that I have done a single act without a contradicting thought happening in me, tell me. No. You can't. Not a single action is outcome of thought. Actually, we do not know what is the cause of action. That is truth. That's the truth. Always you will have contradicting thoughts. Why you execute this thought and you don't execute that thought, we don't know the reason. We don't know the reason. We don't have logical reason. That is what you executed. That's all you can say. Why you did not execute the contradicting thought and you executed that thought, we don't know. Understand? This understanding will create a deep clarity in you. A very deep clarity in you. You are suffering. You are torturing yourself by trying to find the reason for all your past actions. The main suffering, main cause for your suffering is you trying to find reason or justification for your actions. Your actions are not done with a logic. First understand that. Your actions are not done with a logic. You give the title or the name to that actions either as a good or bad based on the result which comes after the action.
All bosses are always worried. Nobody knows why. And they constantly act as if they are worried. But after certain time, they forget they only started as acting. They start believing and they start living. And the delusion and illusion they created for others swallows them also over. Many times, to show you are a big guy, you would have started screaming in your office, in your house, with your team. Slowly, after a few days, even though you established you are a big guy everywhere, that screaming has become pattern in you. Agitation has become pattern in you. Being constantly irritated has become pattern in you. Even though it is not directly productive to the mission of your life, what you are supposed to achieve, it's like I get this pad to take class for all you guys. But after some time, I am so addicted to this pad, I keep it in front of my eyes, even though it is affecting my job of taking class to you. I got this to do my mission, taking class to you. After some time, I become so addicted to this pad, I just keep the pad and don't take classes. And knowing that this is affecting my mission, that is what exactly you are doing. I tell you, 99% of the things you worry about never comes true. 1% which comes true is always good for you. But I know for sure, how many hours I speak about worrying, you will not be able to break your pattern. Only by doing the proper process we can break your pattern. Otherwise, it will become like this book, How to Stop Worrying, Start Living. Till you read that book, you have 10 worries. After reading that book, you have 11th worry, how to stop worrying. That becomes 11th worry. So, I know if I just give you words, this will be like one more, how to stop worrying, start living. So I'm not going to give you words, I'm going to guide you into the system, into the process to break this pattern. I want you to know only one thing. In no way worrying is productive. If any productivity is achieved by worrying, please avoid it. Let it not come in your life. It's like a side effect of the poison. See, by steroid, sometimes you get health. But for how many days? Few days. Within next few days, you are going to have the side effect. Same way, by worrying, even if you get some effect, let it not be part of your life. See, it's like a outer conversation and inner conversation. This inner conversation only becomes worry slowly, slowly in you. That is why in the Hindu tradition, constantly repeating the divine name, I can tell you, one of the best, most powerful technique. It's called ajapa ajapa. Constant repetition. Why, you know? That purifies your whole inner conversation. You become aware of what goes on in your inner space. It is literally fixing a CCTV camera, security camera. If you fix a security camera outside your house, how anything happens, you know, it is in your awareness. Same way, fix ajapa ajapa in your inner space, that is a security camera. Anything happens in you, that worrying in your inner conversation, you will catch it. Just like CCTV protects you, ajapa ajapa protects you. Ajapa ajapa is inner CCTV. That is inner CCTV. If the thieves know that CCTV camera is there, they don't go there. Same way, if your mind knows you are established in ajapa ajapa, it doesn't send virus thoughts. It doesn't send worrying patterns. The inner conversation becomes pure and you are established in the truth. Perspective and vision about life. Yes. It's like whatever I am giving in satsang is more like a pure science. What I am giving it to you specifically is applied science. Come on.
So
Now I want you to answer the fourth question.
okay. Fourth question is confusion, irritation, and restlessness.
No. Each worry, the emotions that the worry causes, and the impact that worry has on you and others around you.
Okay. So the main worry is I'm in US and my parents and my in-laws are in India. So I don't want to come and settle here in India. I want to enjoy whatever the life in US, and at the same time I want to be here with my parents and in-laws when they suffer, which I'm not able to do being in US. So that put me under the emotion connected to it is confusion. Am I going to settle there or am I going to settle here? I don't know. I'm not able to come to any answer. So that's the one thing. Second thing, with my job, with my boss, it's always a rat race. I have to prove every minute. I have to work and I have to think all the time that I am up to his expectation. So I work crazy. As soon as I wake up in the morning, I listen Suprabhatam and check my Outlook email. So I will do that all the time. I won't stop. Even, my first worry I pen down is like, I haven't checked my emails for last 6 days. How am I going to manage after this 21 days, when I go back? So that's my first worry I pen down. So that put me into a lot of irritation. That's the emotion attached. The next one is about the kids, they are in...
Finally this worry, did it make you productive?
No, it's not. When I think of this, I have to meet up to his expectation all the time. I make more errors and, he's scolding me all the time. So that's what is happening. And I really don't know how to stop
The impact of this on others, you are able to see.
Yes. So the day I get scolding from my boss, I show it on my husband. So that's what happens.
I know. No, it's true. See, it's like your boss vomits on you. You come and vomit on your wife. Your wife goes and vomits on the kids. Kids go and vomit on the pet. Pet comes and bites you. That's all. It's a cycle. No, this is what is the karma chakra. Nobody is breaking it. And I am telling you from working with thousands of people very closely with their mental setup, the torturing atmosphere in the office leads to extramarital affairs in so many ways. See, when you are all around surrounded by people who are torturing you, even if one person is not torturing you, you feel that as a love. You don't need really love from that person if he is not capable of torturing you. The soft corner starts developing. Families break. So many things start happening just because of the stress in the workplace. Human beings can't handle constant stress unless they are with enlightened being. If you are with enlightened being, he knows how to lubricate you and make you function. With ordinary boss, what he will do? He can only vomit. Then, as I said, you come and vomit on your husband. Husband vomits on kids. Kids vomit on pet. Pet comes and bites you. And the circle is complete. Paramashiva's message directly from KAILASA today. Listen, listen intensely. Having broad space keeps you absolutely integrated. Continuously manifesting life. Manifesting life is manifesting powers. Powers are nothing but life into the power of 3. Life into the power of 2, like a life square, is bliss. Life cube, life into the power of 3 is powers. Having broad, expansive inner space. Listen, life is all about what you cognize as you, not what you do outside. That's one statement. Second statement I immediately made. Life has nothing to do with what you feel about you or with you. It is all about what you do to others. Both looks very conflicting, paradoxical, controversy. Listen, but they are not conflicting. They are complementing each other. All I am trying to tell you is what you feel about you does not matter. What you cognize about you matters. When you have the right cognitions, you will start serving others. Serving others becomes your lifestyle. Listen carefully, intensely. what you are going to powerfully cognize about you decisively, that matters. For example, you decide, I am now going to feel I am only powerful God, Paramashiva, who has absolute power over my inner space and power over my outer reality. Listen carefully. That decision you may be taking only for 1 minute. And the all remaining 23 hours and 59 minutes you may be in depression, self-doubt, self-hatred, self-denial, all kinds of hitting with worst space a person can have, and feeling shitty about yourself, your life and everything. All that feeling you are having 23 hours, 59 minutes does not matter. The 1 minute which you decided, you are going to powerfully cognize yourself as Paramashiva. That matters, because cognitions, consciously taken decisions, gets recorded into your biomemory. Vague, confused, immature, mood swings, feelings, all that gets recorded only even in your muscle memory. Listen. Even if you receive 99,000, it is less than 1 lakh. Because the very digit is different. Having large, expansive inner space. Makes you manifest life in tremendous depth, maturity.
Dhiras who micromanage the inner space are dhiras. Dhira means who is not stuck in any pattern inside. If you lose the fight outside and come out and give a 10-day lecture on why you lost, you can't be a Veera. Nobody is interested in giving you any respect by listening to your lecture. Oh, it was too hot and I always feel energetic in the AC and cold area, but in hot I lose my sense and control. I was so irritated. I could not tolerate the other fellow's sweating smell, so I lost it. Who cares? Loser. Even if he gives 10-day lecture on the reasons why he lost, he's not going to get the title Veeraha. He's not going to be Veeraha. Dhira means who conquered inner space, who micromanages inner space, who looks into every thought current, thought pattern. Understand? Any problem persists because you are not interested in micromanaging certain thought currents in you, certain pattern currents in you. Understand? Even body needs to be healed. If your body is not cooperating with you for waking up in the morning, it is sick. it is having, entertaining certain blind spots. Don't let that happen in you. You need to address it. You need to heal it. You need to cure it. Most subtlest patterns do not expose themselves as patterns to you. They try to convince you, you are them. They are your characters. They are your beauty. They are your colors. No. No. Any sympathy for your patterns in any form is a crime against yourself. Atmahatya. Understand? Sometimes we say, why? Everyone is suffering with certain pattern. Why not me also? Let me have this. This is my character. No. Everyone's suffering cannot be the justification for your stupidity. Pattern, when it convinces you, it is your character, it is your quality, and derives your sympathy, you have committed suicide. You entered into the suicidal space. Over. Most, listen to this word, most stupid. Suffering comes to you by you not recognizing the source of that suffering as your pattern. Look in. Look in. Justifications do not bring you result. Long theology, philosophies do not bring result. Who do not compromise in the inner space, who feels their inner space is like their chastity, is dhiraha. The level of integrity, the way you micromanage your inner space, that makes you dhiraha. That makes you dhiraha. Here, Upanishad declares, dhiras are those who discover the ear of the ear, mind of the mind, speech of the speech, prana of the prana, and realizing that they achieve the immortal, eternal, amrita bhavanti. They achieve immortal and eternal. Contemplate. Where are the blind spots? Continuously look in. If you are not able to attend the morning yoga, the blind spot is somewhere else. Somewhere else you are deeply cherishing the second thought current, some other thought current. Unless you penetrate into that thought current, you are not going to free yourself. You are not going to liberate yourself. Your anger, your discomfort, your vengeance. Unless you look into that and break, you are not going to become dhiraha. And life is only worth living when you become dhiraha. Shrotrasya shrotram manaso manoyat vachoha vacham savu pranasya pranaha chakchush chakshuhu atimushya dhiraha pretya smallokat amrita bhavanti. Go on micromanaging your inner space. Go on micromanaging. The moment you diagnose the thought current, thought pattern, immediately the pattern will melt. The moment you diagnose, if it is not melting, that thought current is not a real problem. Still you have not put your hands on the real problem, I tell you. Many times people, when they are not able to wake up in the early morning, they try to put more alarms, more cold water, sleep early. All that does not work. The gastric and stomach ulcer need to be healed because the problem is there. Putting more alarms, putting more cold water on yourself, putting more people to call you, sleeping early, nothing will work. Till you put your hand on the right problem. With everything, with every situation, with every problem, putting your hand on the right thought current. The moment you put your hand on the right thought current, the problem dissolves, problem disappears.
Tyaga is the key to become God. The most difficult tyaga is renouncing self-hatred, because the society teaches you self-hatred is great. It makes you delude between humbleness and self-hatred. Listen. Humbleness is not self-hatred. Listen carefully. Self-hatred is thinking you are less. Humbleness is thinking about you less. Less self-remembrance is humbleness. Self-hatred is constantly thinking about you, but very cheap, very low. Understand, there is a big difference between humbleness and self-hatred. Person with self-hatred will never be really humble. Adivinayam durta lakshanam. He will show himself very humble. But he is not humble. Understand? A real humbleness will be out of powerfulness. Society deludes you, makes you mistake humbleness your humbleness as self-hatred. And as you always in the state of self-hatred, so that you will be humbled. Self-hatred is not humbleness. Most difficult thing to renounce in the life is self-hatred. So much of self-hatred, self-doubt, self-denial. That is why even if you think of future plans, so much of impossibility and you shrink. No, one more suffering, pain of failure, why should I face? Fool. Because of pain of failure, you don't plan, and naturally no plan means failure. It is like because you are afraid some guest will come to your home, you call that person and tell him, please come. You are afraid failure will come to your life, and you stop planning and force the failure to come to your life. Self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt. Most difficult thing to renounce in your life is SDHD. Renounce that. Dhira, courage is moving the SDHD out and having the vision for your future. Because of your pain and frustration, fear of failures, doesn't want to face one more pain of not achieving what you want and all those frustration ganging up, and you don't even put the seed, then what are you hoping for? Accidental future is not going to be great. All accidents will either be damaging or just letting you live. It is only consciously planning, manifesting. Understand? You are a man. You are given conscious power, will, persistence. You are expected to be adult and matured. Use those capabilities and plan, manifest your future. If not, don't blame anyone. First, sit. Pen down your pains of failures, hopelessness, resistance, anger. You feel even to write, think about your future. How is it going to happen? My future is in somebody else's hand. I don't even know what is going to happen. How will I plan? What will I do? All kinds of frustration, impossibility. Whatever comes up, pen down all of that. That is the first step. Second, decide consciously I am moving all this out of my life. And now I am planting conscious seeds about my future. So two things you are going to do now. First, all the resistance and anger and frustration you have to do this conscious planning of your future, pen down those patterns. Memories of failures, frustration, everything, whatever you have. If you don't have, great. If you have, pen down. That's the first. Second, Pen down what all you want to manifest by which date, on the date exactly, on the calendar. If you want to manifest something by August, go to the August month and exact date you want to manifest that, pen down that. Veera is courage you demonstrate through your ahankara. Dhira is the courage you demonstrate in your level of mamakara. The courage you demonstrate in ahankara is Veera. The courage you demonstrate in mamakara is Dhira. The courage you demonstrate in anyakara is Ira, the compassion. The courage you demonstrate in ahankara is Veera. In front of 10 people, die! The courage you demonstrate with your mamakara, with yourself, is Dhira. I'll choose only authenticity. Come what may. The courage you choose with the anyakara is Ira. I don't know whether the word Sanskrit, the Ira exists in Sanskrit. It's a Tamil word. It's a Tamil word. It's a Tamil word. Ira means the compassion in your heart. In Tamil, it means. But the old languages, it will always be, words will be here, there, and it will get mixed up. Some forgotten, some. It's okay. I'll give this word to Sanskrit, Ira. And I'm giving the meaning to it, that's all. With the right of Arsha Prayoga, I give this, contribute this word to Sanskrit. A rishi has a right to use Arsha Prayoga. As an incarnation who created so many rishis, I contribute this word to Sanskrit. Go ahead. Because the masters have to explain such subtle principles, they are not bound, restricted by the linguistic rules. That is why in the tradition even country rules are bent. Because they have to express the cosmic rules in their body language. Sometimes the country rules are bent in those days during the Vedic tradition for the masters. The good and the pleasant approach man, the wise examines both and discriminates between them. The wise prefers the good and the good to the pleasant, but the foolish man chooses the pleasant through love of bodily pleasure. Shreyascha preyascha manushyametaha tau sampritya vivinakti dhiraha. Authenticity and inauthenticity both approach man. The wise examines both and discriminates between them. The dhira, wise one, prefers the good, prefers the authenticity to the inauthenticity. But the foolish man, adhira, chooses the inauthenticity because of the incompletion in the bio memory, in the muscle memory. Tell me, all of you think, why did you choose the pizza knowing it is inauthenticity? Why did you say it's okay at that moment? Because the incompletion in the muscle memory, in the tongue, in the eyes, in the touch. Pizza will have incompletion only in these three muscle memory. Vision, visual, the way it is, wow. And the taste, of course, smell also. Smell. Sound, there's no sound from pizza. The smell, the incompletion muscle memory of the smell, incompletion muscle memory of tongue, incompletion muscle memory of eyes, and incompletion muscle memory of touch. If you remember even now and have a thought, it will be nice if I can have a pizza. Authentically raise your hand. How many of you had the thought? You still have incompletion. Understand? The moment I described, you had the visualization and had a thought. It will be nice. Of course, we won't get it, but it will be nice. Raise the hand. Authentically, let me see. Still, you are carrying the incompletion. The danger of choosing inauthenticity exists in you. Nothing wrong with pizza, but you will choose pizza for wrong reasons. Inauthentically. With completion, nothing is wrong. There are clear references. Shankara drank the village, the country arak. Being a Brahmana, a sannyasi, Yoni Brahmana and a sannyasi, he drank country arak. His disciples thought he is inauthentic and questioned. Then in the next stop, he drank the molten iron to prove his authenticity, that nothing touches him. He was never inauthentic even when he drank arak, because it was out of completion. His body needed some water component. Nothing else other than that country arak was available. So he added that water component to the body. And next stop, nothing else other than the molten iron was available. He added water component through that molten iron. It was complete authentic. It was not, the Shankara did not have the incomplete bio-memory of the arak smell, taste, and the hangover which it leaves in the system. You guys have 5 hangovers of pizza. Hangover of taste in the tongue, hangover of smell, hangover of vision, hangover of touch, and hangover it leaves in you after eating. Shankara did not have even 1 hangover of alcohol. Alcohol also leaves you 5 hangover. Seeing, smell, taste, and what the touch, and what it leaves in you after you drink. The 5 incomplete biomemories, muscle memories, all 5 are not there in Shankara. That is why he used even alcohol just to add water component to his body. Ram Surat Kumar smoking. He never had an incompletion. So with incompletion, even pizza can hurt you. Without incompletion, with completion, even alcohol can't hurt you. When you are incomplete, even your breathing can hurt you. authenticity, nothing can hurt you. Look in, it may be out of inauthenticity. Inauthenticity. Dhiraha. Dhira, wise is one who stands with authenticity, who chooses authenticity, who does not choose because of the incompletions of biomemory. See, every time you choose inauthenticity, it's okay. Some of your incomplete biomemory is awake and says, yes,
Nithyananda, Swamiji revealed such a powerful science today for all of us. From understanding about delusion, what is delusion, what is Maya, to understanding about how to break free from Maya. Today we've all learned a lot. Tomorrow we're all going to be entering into a very powerful day where we're going to be learning about conquering time. What does time create in you? Do you feel like stress when it comes to time? What emotion does time create in you? Tomorrow we are going to be learning a very, very powerful science on how to overcome, how to break free from time loop. It's going to be a very special session. Do not miss. Please be there. And we thank all of you for being here with us today, participating here. And we can all meet tomorrow at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the yoga. And this brings us to the conclusion of our day today. Let us conclude with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Padukarpanamastu Om Nithyanandam. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining with us today. See you all tomorrow.